Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, I got the brother here with me.
Hey, Shalom.
Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, Tawabi Mum, first and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, and the Wada Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Kayaha, Barakah Kodash. Your Holy Spirit allowing us to do this lesson. Gonna drop the brother off at the plantation. And I figured we just go ahead and do a lesson. And I want to speak about vengeance and injustice and judgment. Because I was touching on this a little bit at the altar yesterday. You got a lot of racial tension. You got a lot of these tribes getting stirred up, starting with Judah. Can you get Genesis 49, verse 8 through 9? And the brother Yatab out there in Reno, brother, he's a help. He just sent me a video of this Edomite. He pulled out a rifle on this Judite crew. They were shooting a movie, but he thought that they were protesting. He said, man, you better run up out of here. Because up there in Reno, there's been a lot of protests. A few days ago, there was protests everywhere for May Day. You know, so he probably thought it was a continuation of that. You know, some unhinged so-called Trump supporters. So you got a lot of things going on, man. You got a lot of tension. Go ahead.
Seattle, they're having a pro-Trump protest for a couple of days, and New York.
Oh, and you know, those are liberal hotbeds. You know, Seattle, I used to live in Seattle, man. Those are quote-unquote liberals, and you got a lot of quote-unquote extremists too. Hey, remember during the pandemic, they had like a no-go zone. They had like a
oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
They had like a zone, and it was like a Judite.
No police.
Yeah, no police, nothing. He was like a warlord, man. Yeah, and they had that joint set up for a good little while. They had that in Portland too. I actually saw the one in Portland. Like, so I took my mom up there because she wanted to check out Portland and Idaho, which that's a beautiful drive. I don't want to I'm gonna be up there. I'm gonna be up there this summer. But anyways, we went, and I noticed that the hotels were pretty affordable, but I didn't put two and two together that it was affordable because of the pandemic, and they had that they called it like a demilitarized zone. They had fires going and shit like that. They had, like, you couldn't actually drive into certain parts of downtown. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that all over again, man, because people are getting stirred up.
That's why that the border czar was saying he wants to arrest those sanctuary city mayors.
Yep. But go ahead, grab that in Genesis.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 8.
Yep.
Judah, thy brother shall praise.
Yep.
The hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies.
Right, thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies, which is why the racial tension primarily begins with Judah and Esau, and then you see the other tribes getting stirred up. All right, we saw that during the 60s. You had the Black Panthers, and they inspired the so-called American Indians and the so-called Chicanos. Because you had the Black Panthers, and you had the Brown Berets, and you had the American Indian movement, and they were all inspired by what they saw Judah doing with Esau. All right, keep going on.
And thy children shall bow down before thee.
That's right, because everybody bowed to King David. You can read that in 1 Chronicles, the 29th chapter. And upon the return of Yahweh Shai, every knee's going to bow. Keep going on.
And Judah is a lion's whelp.
Hey, where we at though? We good?
Yeah, in 5 miles.
Oh, okay, just stay on this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so it says Judah is a lion's whelp, which a young whelp, or a lion's whelp is a young lion. Go ahead.
For the prey, my son, thou art gone
up.
Right,
from the prey, my son, thou art gone up. Because who's the prey? Primarily Esau/Edom and the rest of these other nations. But Judah has been preying on each other, all right, for the last 60, 70 years. All right, that spirit of resistance, for the most part, went away. And even when I was a kid, like in the early 90s, everybody used to rock the African medallions, the Malcolm X hats. I used to rock that little Malcolm X hat, had the cross colors, and there was a sense of pride. But that didn't came and went. And then when I say pride, not in an arrogant sense, but I should rather say like dignity. That's the more proper term.
Yeah.
There's more of a spirit of dignity about being a so-called black man. But you don't see that no more.
Like in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. And then it came back a little bit in the early 90s. You had all these conscious rappers. And we were kids. We was thinking like a militant. As a kid, I was thinking like a militant. But you got it out.
He said, for he stood up He crouched as a lion.
Yep. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion. Go ahead.
As an old lion, he wrote, "Who shall rise him up?"
Right. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? And we see that these different situations, different incidents are being used to rouse up Judah. And we know, pursuant to Zechariah the 9th chapter, that Judah is going to pick up with Ephraim, and all the tribes are going to collectively ride against Esau, because we're all suffering under this oppression. And that's why it's actually good that Trump is coming to power, because that's putting the screws to you Northerners as well. So you see all the tribes being attacked. Right? There's going to be that revolutionary spirit. See, that revolutionary spirit is coming back. And because our people are seeing the spirit that Esau's in. Because again, Esau, he just hopped out with a rifle, talking about, man, you better run up out of here. Just because he thought that there was protesting. Hey, these devils are unhinged, man. Let me grab this real quick in Isaiah 19:2. You can break it down.
Yeah, I was gone.
Oh, that's the spirit. that's the spirit. As I, Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight, everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom.
So you're seeing the Babylonians against the Babylonians, the Americans and Americans. So you're seeing all these nations, they're uniting. Like you see China, they're united, Russia, but America, they're all against it. It's a war in between, a civil war basically. Because you say that these American Negroes, these black, they call themselves Americans, so they're as the Egyptian mindset.
Exactly.
Well, they're turned against these American Edomites.
Yeah, exactly. We got a lot of that are people identifying as a foundational Black American.
Not this one.
Next section. Yeah, as a foundational Black American, because our people are, well, look, man, we built this country. We should reap the benefits. Look at this damn devil. Jesus trusting you. Got Cesar Borgia, man. Hey, that's the spirit. I was at the store earlier, and it was this magazine that said Chosen, and it showed Yahweh Shai is a so-called white man. I was thinking, like, man, these devils, they really gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. They, despite the fact that everybody that has a somewhat functioning mind knows that there's no way that the Messiah could have been a so-called white man. Esau gonna keep pushing that out. They part of Edomite supremacy. All right, hey, you see these hardcore racist devils. You go on their profiles online. It's gonna say, "Well, I'm a patriot. I'm a Christian, MAGA, Second Amendment." Yep, Second Amendment rights, all that. That's a part of being an American Edomite, being a quote unquote God-fearing Christian. All right, loving God and His Son, but only if they so-called white men. You see,
and that's why the spirit of Egypt is failing, because that spirit was pushed to the American citizen that the so-called white man is God. Now it's through. Like nobody believes that.
And why is that? Because of the truth. Because of the spirit of truth coming upon the earth. All right, via our elders and their elders and us brothers. That spirit of truth is being pushed out. And then you see Esau's trying to resurrect it. It's not working. All right, Esau tried to resurrect it, and he's getting what? He's getting constant backlash. Which is why now they're like, hey, look, man, we're just gonna lock you up. we gonna lock you up if you speak against us now. That's all they got. All right, because the psyops, they're not working anymore. Like people see that billboard, they say, man, who's this damn? Look at this damn devil. Oh, that's Cesar Borgia. People know about Cesar Borgia. They'll break it down how we break it down. That's the second son of Alexander the Sixth of Rome. All right, Rodrigo Borgia.
Second Ezra, the 6th chapter.
Yep.
The truth. Yeah.
Yep. Go and grab that.
Yeah, I'm grabbing.
Grab that. Where I go? Right or left?
Left.
Okay. Yeah, because the spirit of truth is overwhelming the earth, and that's why there's so much conflict now. Because with truth comes what? Comes courage. Our people before, they didn't have that same amount of courage because they themselves believed that Esau was God. But now our people are beginning to acknowledge the truth, acknowledge who we are. And even though you got a lot of our people that aren't going to be delivered, going to be saved, that acknowledge the truth, they gonna take that knowledge and say, well, look, man, I'm better than these people. And they're gonna what? They gonna lash out at Esau. And just like I remember how far down I go.
0.4. You're gonna turn right.
Take it right or left?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, just like I remember when we first went out in Berkeley. It was back in 2009, and you had some Judite. Well, one was a Judite, the other was a Gadite. They was from Richmond, and we were preaching, prophesying against Esau. They got so stirred up, they went and they beat some Edomites up and took their car. Like they came, they showed us the keys to the Beamer and everything. It's like, hey man, y'all can't be. Yeah, it's like, yeah man, what y'all doing is, this is this is raw, but hey man, y'all can't be preaching like this, man, because they got so stirred up, man. That's because that's what this truth does. And that's why even us, when we was younger in the faith, you know, you see some Edomites on the street, you bump into them, you bump into them. Like beat some Edomites up. Hey, we don't do that no more.
Cursing them out at the job.
Yeah, you curse them. Yeah. You on a train? You on a train cursing Edomites out? It's right here, right?
No,
okay.
One more.
Yeah, you on a train cursing Edomites out and everything, because that's what this word does. It really stirs you up. It puts you in the right mindset. Yeah, we're able to rule our spirits at this particular moment in time. But you got Israelites that aren't, and they're gonna be beaten right here.
Yep.
They're gonna be beating Esau up, calling him Edomite and everything.
The name of the Lord Judah shall be a
terror unto Egypt. That's right. That's right here.
Yeah, the one right here.
Yep, it says that Judah's gonna be a terror unto Egypt. That's also in the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter. But we'll go ahead out.
There's a second of chapter 16, verse 27.
Yep.
For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched.
Right, that's what's happening. Evil's being put out, and deceit is being quenched. And as the spirit being go out, it's about to start coming down. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. Go ahead.
And as for faith, it shall flourish.
That's right. So faith is beginning to flourish. All right, amongst the believers. That's why you see brothers showing more and more of their faith by their works. Go ahead.
And corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
That's right. The truth is being declared, and Esau's kingdom is predicated on lies. So all we have to do is preach the truth, and we're going to see more and more conflict as Esau seeks to preserve his hegemony. But it's not going to be prolonged. All right, but we're going to go ahead and end here through the spirit. Pray that this lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, and Adawan Ratazah. Tomorrow, we'll be back at it on the highways and hedges. Brother, got to get to work. I got to get to work as well. So until next time, Abba Ball, Shalom to the remnant, Shalom to the elect.